because people are not doing their job.
Perhaps your report came in too early, because this is a government that has largely tried to fight insurgency in the northeast, also tried to fight the farmer herders clashes in the middle belt of the country, and they have invested heavily by way of purchasing equipment, including the Tucano aircraft that we're still expecting, to try to see that insurgency as well as criminality and those farmer herders crises which you report about are contained.
If you look at our report, in 2016, we confirmed over 800 deaths. In 2017, it's 745. In 2018, as at October 2018, it's over 2,000 deaths. Does it mean that we have to wait till the number increases to 5,000 before we realize that the fact that we've not dealt with the incidents of 2017, the incidents of 2016, and the pockets of violence that started rearing their head in the early 2000s, that's why we're in a situation today whereby life is so cheap that the numbers keep increasing. Obviously, something is not going right. Obviously, the tactics and the strategies that are being employed are not effective. We need to change tactic, we need to change strategy. We cannot wait until the entire country is in flames before we can act and do something about it. And that is what our research has been able to show, that is as the numbers has increased over the years. And our analysis are showing that the reason why this is so is because no one has been brought to account. And we can do a lot more in order to deal with this situation. Okay, in fact, our report was supposed to be released in June. But these attacks kept happening and kept happening. And if you look at the timeline that we've provided in terms of the numbers that, the numbers that have happened each month, you will notice that there's a period in time when the numbers peak. And that is the time when these communities have more in contact with each other during the rainy season, when the land is ripe for planting and the leaves are green for plucking. So you find that even in terms of looking at even seasonal, without even looking at intelligence reports, that there's a potential for violence during this period, because that is when they are likely to meet. What are we doing to ensure that when they meet, it doesn't lead to violence? Okay, how are we ensuring that the commissions that were set up in 2017 and the various state commissions that were set up are talking to one another and are involving the communities in a participatory manner in order to address the underlying causes of this conflict and to find a lasting solution to ensure that all human beings, regardless of where you come from and what you believe in, are given that sense of security and belonging.
You know, if I may come here, Mr. Ajigbo, your report, you published your report, but now Amnesty has been accused by the presidency in a statement released by a spokesperson to the president. Amnesty has been accused of bias and inaccuracy in your research. How do you react to that? That's besides the accusation from the military.
Amnesty is not a political organization, and we don't have any affiliation with anybody or any religious or any political association. We are just a human rights organization who monitor and document human rights abuses where they occur and provide an opportunity for those voices which ordinarily will not be heard to be heard in public spaces like this. We do not have any bias towards anyone. And if you recall, since 1967... Mr.
Ajigbo, we really do not have time. So let me just put this in here. So you've been asked, even though, Mr. Ajigbo, if I may come in, please. Thank you. You've been asked by the military to leave Nigeria. That's besides the accusation or the accusation from the presidency of bias and inaccuracy. The military has asked that you shut down your offices in Nigeria and you should leave because of certain things. Let's put out this points that the military outlined why you should leave Nigeria. One, the Amnesty says you've deviated from the core values, principles, and objectives of your outfit. The army arrived at the conclusion due to AI's alleged fabrication of allegations of human rights abuses against the Nigerian security forces. That you engaged in clandestine sponsorship of dissident groups to make unfounded allegations against the military. How do you react to all of this?
This is an unfortunate smear campaign. We speak the truth and we provide facts as it happens. And so this is quite unnecessary. Amnesty International is a respectable human rights organization, and we abide by values of accountability, respect. And so it's quite unfortunate that the military has taken this stance. What we ask everyone to do, you need to stand up for human rights, and you need to ensure that the lives of the nearly 4,000 people whom we documented in our Headers and Farmers report, Harvest of Death, get justice. That is what we all want. And this is just an attempt to distract from actually what is going on and to intimidate and use threats in order to silence the truth. And we say all Nigerians should stand up for human rights and to protect human rights, because that is what will only help us in order to achieve and really fulfill the best for everyone. And furthermore, to realize that it is a lack of accountability that has brought us to this situation we are today. If people have committed a crime, please prosecute and please make them accountable. Dismissing claims without addressing the lives that have been lost is a very unfortunate and sad situation that we find ourselves today.
Can you hear me now? Are you going to leave this country